Hello, neighborhood mystics. Welcome to your free weekly tarot reading for the week of April 22nd through the 29th of 2017. I'd like to start with a story. This is about a dog, and his name is Buddy, but I call him Howdy. He is a basset hound, and he lives in our house. He's really the neighbor's dog, but what happened is the neighbors moved away and they moved to an apartment, and it was too hard to keep him they lived on the second or third floor, and it was just too difficult to deal with him in an apartment. So we took him in, and he lives with us now. And like I said, his name is Buddy, but I call him Howdy, and he is a basset hound. And he is very different than any of the other dogs we've ever had or presently have, because we have two other dogs. And the thing about Howdy is he's a very low energy dog, and we have two high energy dogs, and we've always had high energy dogs like border collies. So Howdy, he just doesn't care. I mean, it's amazing. He just does not care really about anything. The only thing he cares about is food, pretty much. Food and when he wants attention, which is rare. It's usually around food. That's why he wants attention. So Howdy sleeps most of the time. Sometimes he'll just look at you and he gives you that deadpan basset hound look, like, and it's like dogs walk by, our other dogs are outside barking, throwing a fit. Somebody comes to the door, rings the doorbell, they're up and running and barking, and he just looks. He doesn't care. If the person coming in the house has food, then he might care, but otherwise he doesn't care. He's basically friendly. He likes other people. He likes other dogs. He just doesn't, nothing shakes this dog. Sometimes he'll be walking across the room and he's like, okay, I'm tired now. And so he just lays down and goes to sleep, like just kind of in the middle of the room. So I was thinking, this dog is a Taurus. That's Taurus. I don't know when Buddy was born. I have no idea. But he has Taurus qualities. He just cares about the luxuries in life, sleeping, eating, having someone pet him and enjoying it. But he just basically is very zen and doesn't get bent out of shape about stuff. But there are the very few things that he has to have when he wants them. Like food time. If he's not fed at the right time, he runs around the house barking. He has his little spots he likes to sleep. If something's in the way of one of those spots, he's very upset. He'll stand there and whine because that's his sleeping spot. But really, other than that, Howdy doesn't care. So that's Taurus for you. The sun has moved into Taurus, and we've got a new moon coming up in Taurus this week. The new moon is on Wednesday, the 26th, and that will be the new moon in Taurus. So with the new moon in Taurus, we're thinking about fertility, we're thinking about manifestation, we're thinking about earthly pleasures and enjoyment. So I would say with this new moon, if you know what house that occurs in, that's a place where you can start new beginnings of manifestation, or of things that give you pleasure, or of ways that you can zen out and be comfortable. If you don't know what house it is, no big deal. You can just enjoy yourself. And I think with all this, we've got a lot of fire energy happening. Mercury has returned to Aries, and Venus will return to Aries this week. So there's a lot happening. I keep talking about being overwhelmed because I know I'm overwhelmed. And I'm having a lot of things come to me that I didn't necessarily ask for. And so I have to react to. So that's kind of a fire thing. So with the Taurus new moon, you might want to think over what kind of things you really want to put your energy into, and what other things that is stuff that came to you, but you really don't want to put your energy in. So think of Buddy, think of Howdy Hound, think of, okay, would Howdy care? It's like, do I care that the mailman just left the mail? Not really. Do I care that it's 4 o'clock and it's time to eat? Yes. So that kind of thing. That's what I have to say about the new moon in Taurus. What else have we got? All right, so I mentioned Mercury, which has moved into Aries. So we have Mercury retrograde until May 3rd. Okay, Mercury goes direct May 3rd. So what's happening is that Mercury is moving backwards and it's crossing over Uranus. And it's going to cross over Uranus and then it's going to stop and then it's going to move forward and it's going to move across Uranus again. Now, since this is Mercury's already halfway through its retrograde, it's moving slowly because that's what happens when planets go retrograde. Mercury in particular can move quite quickly, and then during retrogrades, it slows down to its station point, and then it slowly moves direction and starts moving back the other way. So what we have is a very extended period of Mercury conjunct Uranus. So that will be it's already been happening this last week, and it will be continuing until mid-May, until it goes into Taurus, which is May 15th. So because Uranus is right at the last degrees of Aries, and that's kind of where Mercury is traversing. So what this means is, Mercury is the planet of surprises. It's communication. So, I mean, you could be getting some unexpected insights or downloads. Things can suddenly be revealed, like, oh, that's what was behind all that. That's the real story of what's happening. People can be acting rashly and just pop off, like say things without thinking. So you may want to watch that, because the Aries energy is very impulsive. So, but, a lot of good things can come out of this Mercury conjunct Uranus. And like I said, brilliant ideas and insights can come. Things having to do with business dealings, that's Mercury. There could be unexpected but good turns in business. Unexpected people may contact you out of the blue or whatever, and you may have opportunities come to you that way. So, be looking forward to that. I am. I don't know. Everything's so crazy. I'm hoping that something good is going to come out of all this. So, on to our reading. I wanted to explore this Mercury in Aries. Mercury in Aries conjunct Uranus. This whole, like I said, this period that's going to go from now until the middle of May. Like, what's up with that? What's the lesson? What's going to happen? What do we need to know with this Mercury conjunct Uranus in Aries? Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the Creative Whack Pack card. So what we got here is exaggerate. It says, imagine a joke so funny that you can't stop laughing for a month. Paper stronger than steel. An apple the size of a hotel. A jet engine quieter than a moth beating its wings. A home-cooked dinner for 25,000 people. Try exaggerating your idea. Think big. What if it were 1,000 times bigger, louder, stronger, faster, or brighter? What if the number of people who could use it were increased 1,000-fold? Now think small. What if it were only 1,000th as powerful, fast, costly, or complicated as before? How can you exaggerate your idea? So that's a good Mercury word there, exaggeration. So keep that in mind as we do the rest of the reading. All right, so what will this Mercury conjunct Uranus be about for us? So what I've pulled here is I've got the Three of Earth, and I've got the Child of Earth, and I've got the Nine of Air. So it's with the Three of Earth, it's about working with other people. With Child of Earth, it's new discoveries. And with the Nine of Air, this is worries and what's keeping you up at night. So we need some more information. Let's pull some more cards. Okay. So I get the Three of Earth and the Emperor together. So this is saying, organize your work with others, structure your work with others, and and work, and maybe even be a leader, be in the position of a leader in your work with others. Let me put one more card, which we have the guardian of air. So not only are you a leader, but you're very clear about what your goals are. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier, is the way this energy is it's bringing a lot of stuff that you probably didn't ask for and maybe didn't expect. So you've got to get crystal clear on what you're trying to accomplish with other people. Okay, so as far as I think I said making new discoveries here, what we've got is the World. Woo! So I think this is talking about how you have new discoveries about how to bring your destiny into fruition, and how to work with your blind spots and what you perceive as incomplete about yourself or not acceptable about yourself, to bring this all together into one final project or plan that is beautiful. I wish I could remember. Sometimes I don't remember things, but there's some Japanese philosophies that have to do with imperfection and the beauty of imperfection. And like I said, I just can't really remember. There's something to do with broken pottery and putting it back together, and that after it's been broken and you put it back together, it's better than it was before. Where, you know what I mean? So I think it's kind of like that idea is like, putting all the pieces together, even the ones that you don't feel so good about, putting it together to make the whole, that's part of your self-exploration. One more card for that one. Okay, we have in this deck the Tree, or the Hanged Man. So I think this has to do with the Taurus energy of slowing down, and once again only paying attention to what's important and going within and becoming open, becoming open to these messages that are coming in about everything that's going on. But it's like you have to be in a quiet place to do it. You can't be all ADD, like, let me answer this text, and then I'll think about my destiny, and then I'll think about why that dream happened. You know what I mean? It's like you have to have some quiet time here. You have to have some meditative time, and you have to think about what this is ultimately the big picture. All right, last one. So we have okay, this stuff that's worrying you and upsetting you, and we get the Ace of Earth. So, this is, a lot of times this can happen, this worry and stuff, is because you're in your head too much. The Ace of Earth is saying get grounded, and it could also be get grateful too, because it's like, this is, see, we have the first little fern coming up. So if you're truthful with yourself, there is some progress. There is some things that are being brought forth. There is some accomplishment. It just may, you know what I mean? We're in the time of Taurus where this is the very beginning of the spring. And so we're looking at all the seeds and we're going, hey, that looks like that one's doing really good. I haven't seen this that I planted come up yet at all. It looks like I'm going to have to thin over here because there's already too much. And then look at all this stuff that showed up by itself, like these tomato plants. Do I want to pull them, or, but you don't really need to make a decision right now. It's just, pay attention to what is coming up out of the ground, what is showing itself to you right now. And then the last card we have is the Nine of Water. So here we have the Nine of Air. Here we have the Nine of Water. So once again, instead of being in your head, you can put your feet on the ground and be practical. And this is about working with your emotions. And as you can see, this woman has opened up to, whatever it is that's coming her way. And she's, this is also the ask for it card. So if you want it, ask for it, embrace it, open up to receiving it. So Taurus, is a feminine sign. It's time, even with all the Aries, we have to take a pause. It's time to take a pause and kind of open up to receive, because the universe is abundant. And I know that sounds so cliche. It's like I want to shoot myself, and I tend to be a little bit of a pessimist myself, so I'm saying that to remind myself, you know, the universe is abundant, and, you know, if you only look and open your eyes, then you'll see what's there and be able to receive it. So, that's it for this week. See you next week. And I appreciate it if you would like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, and if you want to get a reading from me, quickcardreading.com is where you can order a reading.